Hey Sunrise, it's Andrew here with your small group questions for this week. So we dive into Genesis 9 verses 1 through 17. So we're going to look at what's called the Noahic covenant. So we're going to see God's covenant with Noah and his descendants. So the first question is, so what is the covenant that we see in chapter 9 verses 1 through 17? What is this covenant? So that's going to be the first question. And as you read this text, some things are really quickly going to become familiar. We're going to see right at the beginning, be fruitful and multiply, which takes us back to the beginning. We're going back to Genesis 2, 1 and 2. And so in this section, one of the questions that we should begin to think through is, how is this part of Genesis 9 reminiscent of chapters 1 and 2? What are some similarities? And what are some differences? We're going to see a transition now. So post-flood, things begin to be different than they were before. So reading this text, what are some of the similarities and differences in this new world and the new order that God is putting in place here in chapter 9 and how it relates to Noah's family? And so as you read this, you begin to see God's work in Noah, how he begins to lay out this new covenant promise. And it comes with the sign of the bow in the skies, of course, the rainbow. And so specifically, what images come to mind when you hear that? What is the symbolism here that we're speaking about? This bow pointed at heaven. What do we see? How does this point us forward? How does this show us Christ in the text? It's important that we think about these things. And then lastly, the key here is that this sign is for all people. It's a reminder of who God is. And so through this text, just some couple questions as we wrap up. This is the end of our time in Genesis for the fall. Again, we'll be back in the spring. But as you look at this text, what things stand out? What do we learn about God? What do we learn about the faith? What do we learn about ourselves and our response to God from this text? So those are all some basic things that are in mind today as we work through this text. So I hope that you'll really dive deep into this. There's a lot that can be unpacked in this gospel truth of this covenant. And then come prepared to hear the word on Sunday. Spending some time in small group. Again, it's Thanksgiving week, so things may be a little crazy. If you don't make small groups, be sure to spend some time just in the text itself throughout the week and just seeing who God is and his wonderful grace and mercy he's revealed himself to us. Hope that you guys have a great week. See you on Sunday. Can't wait to enjoy that time with you guys.